Science has spoken. Despite what Paris Hilton has allegedly said, her new skincare formula does not repair DNA cells because DNA cells don't exist. DNA is a molecule found in all cells, and it is not a type of cell, as what the sentence construction of that viral tweet implies. Oh, and we also had a new Mortal Kombat movie, which is an interesting addition to a game series that has given us iconic characters, brutal fatalities, and outrageous violence since the release of the first game in 1992. But did you know that we can explore the science of fatalities and other moves featured in the recent film and in the recent Mortal Kombat 11 game? Yep, science has spoken about this too. And oh, we also have the new Pokemon Snap game, which comforts me because we can't go on field, but also frustrates me because we can't go on field. The game takes you into fresh new sites in the Lental region, which is a beautiful, pristine location, which is sadly something we have very few left of in the real world. Hello science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya's Corner. Here we kick back, relax, and talk about science events that are exciting, scary, or fun in the life of your resident Filipino scientist. It's May 16, science fans. I'm Chana, your resident Filipino scientist, and welcome to episode 22 of SHE-ensya's Corner. So for the past few weeks in quarantine, we hear of this curious new skincare formula that allegedly prevents our cells from aging. We get the new Mortal Kombat film, and also the Pokemon Snap game on Switch has finally been released. Paris is back, baby, and she's helping promote her skin line released in 2018 called Pro DNA. The Pro DNA line is built upon a formula derived from microalgae and other active ingredients, and it's supposed to delay or prevent cellular aging from inside and out. But before we start talking about if this technology is even possible, let's first clarify a few words allegedly from the owner herself. A tweet from the science Twitterverse mentions that Paris allegedly said that, "So what's amazing about this formula is that it repairs your DNA cells." What? Biologists worldwide reacted to this because the DNA is a molecule found inside cells. And that even if there are many different types of cells in our body, there is no such thing as a DNA cell. The DNA instead is the blueprint for life that contains instructions to create proteins. And these proteins eventually shape our cells, shape our bodies, and shape a lot of the physical characteristics that we have. But from the ProDNA website, the alleged science of the DNA maintenance enzymes come from a species of marine microalgae that have enzymes to protect itself from the power of the sun, through a repair mechanism that protects against physical damage caused by UV radiation. And true enough, we do have a lot of publications from 2016 to the present about photoprotective substances that can be acquired from microalgae. And these substances act as natural sunscreen. But interestingly, the ProDNA website mentions intrinsic aging, which is dependent on our DNA. And it happens due to a portion of it degrading over time. This portion that gets degraded over time is called the telomere, and it gets shorter and shorter every time our cells need to divide in order for us to grow and repair cellular damage. And the more it gets shorter, the older our cells are and the older we appear to be. For the longest time, scientists have been trying to delay aging, perhaps even achieve immortality, by slowing down or even stopping the shortening of the telomeres. But in 2010, a team from Stanford University was able to increase the length of telomeres in the laboratory by activating an enzyme called telomerase. I haven't heard if this has been done in humans, but it is certainly a step towards achieving immortality. But a note of caution before we get too excited about this technology. In nature, very few organisms are not bound by the limitations of aging. And in mammalian or human systems, only one type of cell have shown the ability to not shorten its telomeres, and these are cancer cells. Now in other news, Mortal Kombat has been enchanting and horrifying fans with its roster of iconic characters, fatalities, and violence since its release in 1992. It's been 27 years since that first game hit consoles and skulls everywhere. And now it is time to explore the science behind the epic fatalities and the violent moves present in the game and in the recent film. Mortal Kombat is an American media franchise centered on a series of video games, originally developed by Midway Games in 1992. The series has a reputation for graphic violence, most especially the fatalities, which are special moves that can be used to finish off a weakened opponent. Controversy surrounding Mortal Kombat in part led to the creation of the Entertainment Software Rating Board video game rating system. And with Mortal Kombat 11, the game, and the new film, the fatalities have just gotten more graphic. But just how scientifically possible are these iconic fatalities? To help answer this question, Nerdists Because Science collaborated with Warner Brothers in order to produce a 6-episode miniseries called The Science of Mortal Kombat. In this series, the creators break down the science behind iconic Mortal Kombat 11 fatalities, including the very popular Scorpion's deadly spear attack. UFC heavyweight champions and former WWE champions will demonstrate how the fatalities work on dummies that are filled with representations of bone, intestines, and other internal organs so that they can show us just how possible these fatalities are in real life. It's a super exciting series where you'll get to see some of your favorite moves performed in real life, with super slow motion cameras and detailed dissection of each brutal move. But let me warn you, these moves should not be performed at home. Just watch them at Nerdist or at the Because Science YouTube channel. But if you think the excitement's done, think again, because we now have the latest Pokemon Snap game. Pokemon Snap combines the cuteness of Pokemon with a legitimate career of wildlife photography where you get to explore the Lental region and take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, and kill nothing but time. In the game, you get to photograph lively wild Pokemon in their natural habitats as you explore unknown islands for the purpose of scientific research. We get to use a high-tech travel pod called Neo 1 and use it to go into jungles, beaches, deserts, and so much more. A very soothing activity now that we're stuck at home because of the pandemic. But it also kinda sucks that as we enjoy these beautiful interactive ecosystems on the Switch screen, we get to find out how damaged our beautiful interactive ecosystems are in real life. Recent data from all over the world has indicated that our plastic waste has infiltrated nature's big systems, from ocean currents to weather, and you can now find microplastics in the atmosphere, in our soil, and in the oceans. Microplastics are everywhere, and the latest data show that they now affect how plants grow, waft through the air we breathe, and permeate distant ecosystems. They have been found in varied places, from the bloodstream of humans, even a child that has yet to be born, to the guts of insects in far Antarctica. Plastics can also enter the atmosphere, not directly from garbage cans or landfills as you might expect, but from old broken down waste that makes its way into large-scale atmospheric patterns. For example, ocean waves are full of insoluble plastic waste, such as sandbags, plastic bottles, and so much more. And these legacy plastics eventually get degraded by sunlight and dissolve into microplastics, which can either be eaten by marine organisms or be wafted into the air for circulation all over the world. And once in the atmosphere, plastics could remain airborne for up to 6.5 days, enough time to cross a continent. And since we're an ocean planet, it seems like it is more probable for these microplastics to land back on the oceans again. But actually, data has shown that microplastics land more on land than in the oceans. So if you think the problem doesn't affect you just yet, well, think again. It has even been found that the Philippines is the third largest plastic polluter in the whole world, following only China and Indonesia. And so if you enjoy wilderness and nature, or at least realize their importance, whether it's the Pokemon-filled ones or the ones in real life, let us work together to ban single-use plastic and create a more sustainable lifestyle. And that's it for SHE-ensya's Corner this week. For more updates about the goings-on in SHE-ensya and your resident Filipino scientist, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and on Instagram. You can drop by our website also at www.sheensya.com. You can also follow my personal IG account at shona.abeledo. I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something from our episode of SHE-ensya's Corner this week. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!